A group of first graders in Japan quietly lines up after lunch. No one tells them what to do. They grab rags, buckets, and dustpans and start cleaning their own classroom. Some wipe the chalkboard. Others sweep the floor. A few scrub the windows. There's no adult barking orders. No one is bribed or threatened. The kids just do it, together and with surprising joy. Now, picture a typical school in the US or Europe. The bell rings and kids rush out, leaving behind a mess of papers, snack wrappers, and spilled juice. Teachers sigh and start cleaning up, or maybe a janitor comes in later. If you ask the kids to help, you'll probably get groans, excuses, or a sudden need to use the bathroom. Chores become a battle, not a habit. But here's the wild part. Japanese schools don't even hire janitors to clean classrooms. The students do it all, every single day, from the time they're 6 years old. And it's not just about cleaning. In the lunchroom, kids serve food to each other. In the hallway, they bow and greet teachers with respect. On the playground, older students help the younger ones. It's a whole system built on cooperation, not conflict. So what's going on here? Are Japanese kids just naturally better behaved? Is it something in the water? Not at all. The real secret is a simple rule that shapes everything. We take care of our shared space, together, every day. It's not a punishment. It's not a chore chart. It's a quiet expectation woven into daily life from the very start. But wait, it gets even more interesting. This rule doesn't just keep classrooms tidy. It actually prevents most bad behavior before it even starts. Kids don't fight about messes because everyone shares the work. They don't argue about fairness because the rules are clear and consistent. And they don't tune out adults because the adults don't have to nag or yell. Contrast this with what happens in many homes around the world. Parents spend hours reminding, scolding, or even begging their kids to pick up after themselves. Chores become a source of tension. Kids push back, parents get frustrated, and the cycle repeats. The focus is always on correcting bad behavior after it happens, but in Japan, the focus is on prevention. The rule is simple but powerful. We all contribute every day. It's not about catching kids doing something wrong. It's about showing them from the very beginning how to do things right, together. Today, you'll discover how this one rule shapes Japanese classrooms, families, and even entire communities. You'll see real examples of how it works and how you can use it to transform your own home. Imagine a household where chores aren't a fight, where cooperation comes naturally, and where discipline feels almost effortless. Sound impossible? It's not. The secret is in the rule, and once you see how it works, you'll never look at discipline the same way again. Subscribe now so you don't miss the practical steps coming up. Let's dive in. Let's get straight to the heart of it. What is this rule? In Japan, parents follow a principle called kizukai. It means anticipate needs, set clear boundaries, and act before trouble even starts. But what does this look like day to day? First, picture a Japanese kindergarten. It's morning. Instead of a teacher barking orders, you see a gentle routine. Kids place their shoes in neat lines. There's a soft bell. Each child knows what comes next because the routine is the rule. No chaos, no yelling, just quiet cooperation. The boundaries are clear, so misbehavior barely has a chance to appear. The teacher walks around, nodding and smiling, giving a small thumbs up when a child follows the steps. If someone hesitates, a classmate quietly helps. The whole environment is designed to make the right choice the easy one. But wait, here's where it gets interesting. In a Tokyo home, a mom notices her son fidgeting during dinner. Instead of snapping, she calmly hands him a small hand towel, a signal. He wipes his hands, settles down, and the meal continues. There's no scolding. The parent saw the restless energy and gently redirected it. This is kizukai in practice. See the need, act early, prevent the fuss. The son knows the towel means, let's focus. Over time, he starts to reach for it himself before he gets too distracted. The rule becomes part of him. Now, let's zoom in on a playground. In many places, adults step in only after kids fight over a toy. In Japan, you might hear a teacher say softly before play starts, "Let's remember to take turns. If we forget, we'll try again." This tiny moment sets the expectation, so kids know what's coming. Fights? They're rare. The rule isn't just about stopping bad behavior. It's about building a calm, predictable world. A little girl hesitates with a ball, glances at the teacher, and then offers it to her friend. She's not afraid of getting in trouble. She just knows what's expected. But here's the twist. Elsewhere, rules are often reactive. Wait for yelling, then respond. In Japan, it's the opposite. The rule is woven into routines, signals, and soft reminders. Kids don't just follow orders, they absorb the calm rhythm of their day. The environment itself, organized, predictable, and respectful, does half the work. Even the way adults speak is gentle, almost musical. They use phrases like, "Let's try together," or "What comes next?" instead of "Don't do that." Another example. In a Japanese grocery store, a parent and child walk past a tempting display of sweets. The parent quietly says, "We're buying vegetables today." The child nods. There's no argument because the expectation was set before the temptation even appeared. If the child reaches for the candy, the parent gently redirects, "Remember, today is vegetable day." The child puts the candy back and they move on. No drama, no bargaining. And it's not just parents. Older siblings, even classmates use kizukai. In a school hallway, a fifth grader sees a younger child struggling with a heavy bag. Without being asked, she steps in to help. She knows that anticipating needs and helping early is part of the culture. It's not about punishment or reward, it's about harmony. This is the Japanese rule in real life, subtle, quiet, and surprisingly powerful. Instead of waiting for problems, everyone is trained to notice, to guide, and to prevent. The result? Less stress, fewer battles, and a calmer, happier environment for everyone. Let's zoom in on the most important part, how this Japanese rule actually prevents bad behavior before it even starts. This isn't about being strict or hovering over your child. It's about shaping the environment and expectations so that problems don't have a chance to grow. Picture this. A mom in Osaka stands by the kitchen counter. Her 5-year-old son eyes the cookie jar just before dinner. Instead of waiting for him to reach in and then scolding him, she quietly moves the jar out of reach. She smiles and says, "We have dinner soon. Let's wait together." The moment passes. No drama, no raised voices. The temptation is gone before it turns into a problem. But wait, here's where it gets interesting. In many homes, the reaction comes after the fact. A parent might shout, "Don't touch that," or get frustrated once the cookie is already in a tiny hand. The Japanese approach is different. It's proactive, not reactive. It's about noticing the small signals, a glance, a pause, a restless movement, and gently guiding before things go wrong. Let's look at another example. In a Tokyo classroom, a teacher spots a student fidgeting in her seat, starting to get restless. Instead of waiting for her to disrupt the class, the teacher quietly walks over and places a gentle hand on the desk. No words, just presence. The student senses the cue and calms down. Disruption avoided, all without a single correction. Now, here's a detail most people miss. It's not about controlling every move. It's about setting up the environment so that good behavior is the easy choice. For example, at the entrance to a Japanese home, shoes are lined up neatly. There's a clear spot for each pair. Kids know exactly where to put their shoes because it's the same every day. There's no confusion, no need for reminders. The routine does the work. Contrast this with a home where shoes are scattered everywhere. Parents might nag, "Pick up your shoes," every day. But in the Japanese system, the expectation is built into the environment. The rule is silent, but always there. Another tiny detail: schedules. In many Japanese homes and schools, the daily schedule is posted where everyone can see. Kids know what's coming next. There's less anxiety, fewer surprises. When children know what to expect, they're less likely to act out. The routine itself becomes a gentle guide. Here's a common mistake: thinking that prevention means being overbearing or constantly watching your child. That's not it. The real trick is to use small, consistent cues and routines. For example, when a child starts to get loud, a parent might simply lower their own voice and say, "Let's use our quiet voices." No lecture, just a calm reminder. The child follows the lead. But the detail that surprises most, it's the consistency. This rule only works because it's repeated every day, in small ways. Parents and teachers don't make exceptions. The message is always the same: we do things this way. It's not about being perfect, but about being steady. Over time, kids learn to trust the routine and the gentle signals. They feel safe and they cooperate naturally. Imagine this in a real-life scenario. A family is getting ready to leave the house. Instead of chaos and last-minute yelling, everyone knows the steps. Bags are packed the night before. Coats are hung by the door. When it's time to go, the parent simply says, "It's time," and the kids move into action. No stress, no shouting. The routine guides everyone smoothly. What do you think? Could you imagine using these gentle, silent cues and routines in your own home? Or do you think it would be hard to stay so consistent? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's get practical. How can you actually use this Japanese rule in your everyday life? Here are 4 concrete steps, each one simple but surprisingly powerful when you stick with them. Step 1. Set a clear expectation without raising your voice. Imagine your child is about to start homework. Instead of calling out, "Go do your homework," you quietly place their notebook and pencil on the table every day at the same time. No words, just action. This tiny ritual signals it's homework time. At first, your child might ignore it, but after a few days, they start sitting down automatically. You're not fighting or reminding. The expectation is clear, and it's shown through action, not words. Step 2. Use a silent cue. Let's say it's time for dinner. Instead of shouting, "Come eat," you dim the lights or ring a gentle bell. No nagging, no frustration. The new signal, it's time to gather. At first, your family might not notice, but after a week, they start to respond to the cue without you saying a word. The atmosphere is calmer. The cue is consistent, and everyone learns what it means. Step 3. Practice consistency. Here's where most parents get stuck. Maybe one day you let the shoes pile up at the door. The next day you remind your child angrily. Japanese parents stick to the routine. Same cue, same tone, every day. For example, always pointing to the shoe rack and waiting. No yelling, no sighing. Just the same gesture every time. Over time, this steady pattern shapes habits. The child knows what's expected, and the routine becomes automatic. Consistency is the secret ingredient. If you give up after 2 days, nothing changes. But if you keep going, even when it feels pointless, you'll see results. Step 4. Model the behavior. Kids copy what they see. If you want your child to clean up after themselves, do it together at first. After playing, you both put away toys. No lectures, just action. Maybe you hum a tune as you tidy up. Your child learns that cooperation is normal, not a punishment. In Japan, teachers and parents often clean alongside children. It's not about punishment, it's about shared responsibility. The child feels included, not singled out. Over time, they start to do it on their own. Let's look at a real-life example. Picture a family where mornings used to be chaos, everyone shouting, searching for shoes, rushing out the door. The parents decide to try these steps. Every night, they quietly set out shoes and backpacks by the door. In the morning, they play the same gentle song as a signal to get ready. No yelling. At first, the kids resist, but after a week, they start lining up their shoes and packing their bags without reminders. The mood shifts from stress to calm. Or imagine a parent who wants their child to brush their teeth every night. Instead of repeating, "Go brush your teeth," they simply turn on the bathroom light at the same time each night and place the toothbrush on the counter. The child sees the cue. After a few days, brushing becomes a habit, not a battle. Try just one step this week. Maybe it's a silent cue for dinner or a nightly routine for homework. Watch how even a small change can bring more calm and cooperation into your home. The key is to keep it simple, stay consistent, and let your actions speak louder than your words. Let's take a moment to bring everything together. Today, you learned about a Japanese parenting rule that stops bad behavior before it even starts. Instead of reacting to problems after they explode, this approach focuses on quiet, steady prevention. It's not about being strict or harsh. It's about setting clear expectations, modeling calm behavior, and using routines that make good choices the easy, natural path for your child. Think about what this means for your home. Imagine waking up tomorrow and not having to repeat yourself 10 times about shoes, homework, or bedtime. Picture your child knowing what to do, not because you yelled, but because the routine is so familiar it feels automatic. That's the power of prevention over correction. It's a shift from firefighting to guiding, from chaos to calm. Let's recap the main takeaway. When you set clear, gentle boundaries and follow them consistently, your child learns what's expected, without drama. You become the steady guide, not the referee. Your home feels safer, more predictable, and honestly, a lot more peaceful. Here's something empowering. You don't need to overhaul your entire parenting style overnight. Start with one small change. Maybe it's a silent hand signal for dinner time, or a new bedtime routine that always ends with a story. Watch how your child responds. Notice how much less you need to nag or correct. Small, steady actions build trust and cooperation over time. And remember, you're not alone. Every parent feels overwhelmed sometimes. But with this approach, you're building a foundation that will last for years. You're teaching your child not just to follow rules, but to understand them, to feel safe, respected, and ready to cooperate. So here's your challenge. Pick one routine or expectation to focus on this week. Be calm, be consistent, let your actions set the tone. Then, come back and share your experience in the comments. Did you notice a difference? Did your child surprise you? Your story might help another parent who's struggling right now. If this video gave you a new perspective, or if you're ready to try something different, hit like and subscribe. We share practical, real-life parenting tips every week. No judgment, just support. Together, we can make parenting less stressful and a lot more joyful. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.